Yesterday, yesterday we had snow and icy roads. How many of you have ever been driving when you went into a skid? I read an interesting statistic the other day. It said that 98% of people who are sliding on ice and going into a ditch will scream. 98%. The other two were raised in Colorado. And so they say, hold my coffee and watch this. I'm a California girl, and I learned to drive on dry roads. And when I came to Colorado, and the first time I drove in snow, I did the logical California thing. I slammed on the brakes. It took a while before I learned some of the techniques about driving here. I used to live in Roxborough Park, which is way out in the country, and when I lived there, it was, pretty remote. There weren't a lot of people there, and so driving, you were pretty much alone on the highway. So one dark and snowy night, there was a total whiteout, a blizzard. You could not even see the road as you were driving across that highway. And I figured, well, I know my way, and I'm driving, I cannot see the road, but all of a sudden I realized I'm going down in a ditch. There's this big ditch in the median of that highway, and I realized my car is going down into the ditch. Now I had three choices. I could have slammed on the brakes, but I had learned that lesson. I could have just done nothing and screamed. But either of those two choices, because my car was already at an angle, either of those two choices would have caused my car to roll, and I would have ended up upside down in the ditch, and in that blizzard, nobody would have found me. It was very scary. But something in me ignited a powerful choice to step on the brake, not the brake, but to step on the pedal and go forward with power down into the ditch and up and back onto the road. I got through safely because I used power instead of fear. I used power instead of making some of the wrong choice. Our talk today is about power, principles of power to create a powerful life. It took power to bring me to safety. And we need access to our power. And you're familiar with this book, 12 Powers of Man, that Charles Fillmore wrote. One of those powers is power. And Fillmore told us, to man is given the highest power of the universe. That includes women. To you is given the highest power of the universe. And as we'll see as we go through these ideas about power, it has to do with controlling our thought. We'll talk more about that as we go along. So I'm going to invite you to ace it. We're going to use the word ACE, A-C-E, to help us remember. A in ACE stands for to accept, to access, and to align with power. And C is to change your thinking, and C is also to create positive thoughts and beliefs. And E is to experience it. Engage the power. So we're going to ace it. The first step to ace it is to accept, to access your power. And, many of us think that it's all about willpower. When people start studying New Thought, a lot of times they set goals and they think, I will lose weight. I will quit smoking. You know, I will. It's all about my strength. All about, I can do this on my own. So let me share a story with you. A little boy went for a walk in the woods with his father. And they came across this really big boulder. And the little boy said, Daddy, do you think I could move that boulder? Son, I think you can move that boulder if you use all your power. Okay. So he pushes, and he kicks the rock, and he tries very hard to move that huge boulder, and he doesn't succeed. Daddy, you were wrong. I tried and I couldn't move that boulder. Son, you didn't use all your power. You didn't use all your power because you didn't ask me to help you. So when we think that our willpower is going to carry us through, it's because we're not using all of our power. We're not saying, it's God that does the work, and I am. God is, I am. God is power, I am power. So it's the power of God in me that does the work. So let go of the idea that you have to do it by yourself. Jesus never said, I'm so great, I heal all these people. Jesus said what? It is what? The Father within that does the work. It's the Father within us that has the power. It's the Father within. We need to access that power. We need to align with that power. We need to accept that power. Connect with it. Old Jake made a living by cutting wood. And for 50 years, he had a trusty handsaw that he would use to cut wood, and he could cut 4 cords of wood a day. That was what he did. And after 50 years, he's getting pretty old and tired. And his son says, Dad, you know, you could cut a lot more wood a lot easier if you just buy a chainsaw. And of course he says, I don't want one of those newfangled things, you know, I don't need that. I've done this all my life with this saw. And then he got to thinking, well, maybe I ought to consider trying this chainsaw. So he went to Home Depot and he bought a brand new chainsaw, and he took it home, and he had a hard time. Instead of 4 cords of wood, he only cut 1 that day, and he was tired out. He said, this is stupid. I'm taking this whole thing back. Went back to Home Depot and said, this saw doesn't work. I want my money back. Well, the clerk picks it up and he says, well, it looks okay, let's give it a try. He pulls the cord. Jake says, well, what? Why is that chain moving? He'd been trying to cut the wood without turning on the engine. Have you ever done that symbolically? Have you ever done something like that? Well, sometimes we're like that. You know, we've studied these New Thought principles. Many of us have read this book, and we think, well, you know, these are newfangled ideas. I've used my old thinking my stinking thinking for all my life. And it got me along just fine. But we have to be open to know that we can see. C stands for change. We can change our thinking, and C means create new thoughts. And that's what Filmer's trying to teach us. Change our thinking. We can't be healed from an illness if we're thinking about, oh, where do I hurt today when we get up in the morning? We can't create abundance in our life if we're thinking, I just don't have any money. Poor me. We can't have loving relationships if we think, nobody likes me. I'm not worthy of love. We have to change our thinking. And when we change our thoughts, we have the power to do that. We can choose to change our thoughts. And then when we change our thoughts, the thoughts can become beliefs. And what did the master teacher tell us? As you believe, so it's done unto you. As you believe, and we start changing our beliefs as we change and control our thoughts. So as Fillmore said, we acquire power through the creative power of our thought. See, it doesn't do any good to beg God. I've heard people say, I'm begging God for this to happen. Do you think you're going to change God's mind through begging or pleading or maybe, oh God, if you'll do this for me, I'll do this for you. We don't change God's mind because God already wants good for you. God wants you to know that the qualities of God are within you. God is, I am. God is power, I am power. God is healing, wholeness, health. I am wholeness and health. It's up here. It's up here. Power of God's always with us. We just need to pull the starter cord. And it's our creative thoughts that are this cord. As you believe, so it's done unto you. So, E, expectation. If we expect a miracle, we're more likely to get it. Expectation does sound like belief, doesn't it? Expect miracles and experience miracles. I always thought it was a miracle that I didn't die and that when my car went off the road. I thought it was a miracle, but what is a miracle? We think of miracle as something so amazing, so profound, something we could never imagine could be true. We can hardly believe it. But the Course in Miracles tells us miracles are natural. It teaches that miracles are just examples of right thinking. Exactly what we've learned. Examples of right thinking. You want a miracle in your life? Create the thought and expect it. When you expect it, you believe it. And you allow it to happen. So if you want to go back to ACE, A-C-E, so you can ace it, I just invite you to remember, let's access your power. Access your power by knowing that there is a power for good in the universe that's greater than we are, and we can use it. Align with that power. God is health, I am health. God is joy, I am joy. God is love, I am love. God is abundance, I am abundance. God is peace, I am peace. God is freedom, I am freedom. Access, align with that when you say God is, I am. You're aligning with the power. You're accepting it. See, you're changing your thinking. Choose to change. Hey, wait a minute. I'm feeling lonely. I don't feel worthy. I don't feel loved. Cancel that thought. Once before, I gave you a gift. And maybe you've forgotten that, so hold out your hand. I'm going to give it to you again. Everybody got your hands out? Okay. I gave you a gift. Catch it. It's a divine eraser. So all you have to do when you hear yourself saying something that you don't like, just imagine that you're getting that divine eraser out. Up until now, I believed I was unworthy. Up until now, I believed I was alone. Up until now, I believed I was powerless. Up until now, I believed I was destined to be sick. Up until now, I believed I was powerless over drinking, smoking, weight gain, whatever. Up until now. So I'm going to erase that. Imagine it. Put it in your mind. Imagine it. And create a new thought. The power of God is within me. We don't just pull out God's power to change things when things are going wrong. We got to be prayed up. I've found it's important for me to start out each morning before I even get out of bed to align with the power of the divine. So I affirm and know there's a power within me. A power that is within my body, within my life, within my mind, and all of my affairs. So I would like to ask you to say after me, there is a power within me.
There's a power within me.
That power is within my mind.
That power is within my mind.
In my body.
In my body.
And in all my affairs.
And in all my affairs.
Consider knowing this when you first wake up in the morning. The power of God is within me. With everything I do, with everything I say, with everything I am. God is. Access your power, change your thinking, and expect the best. See, when I had that experience in my car, I don't know if I would have felt the power telling me what to do if I hadn't been aligned already by starting out my day with just knowing. Power is within me now. So my suggestion to you during the coming weeks, when you wake up in the morning, just affirm the truth. There's power within me that does the work. God is, I am. Could we just sing a couple of lines of that now? Yeah. Just close your eyes and let's just sing a few lines of that. God is, I am. God is, I am. God is, I am. God is, I am. That's a good thing. Sing that to yourself when you get up in the morning. Sing it to yourself anytime you feel afraid or weak. Just feel the power. So let's repeat again after me. God is my source.
God is my source.
God is my power.
God is my power.
God is.
God is.
I am. God is within each one of us right now, inviting us to claim the power within, knowing that it is God within us that does the work and is always available for us to access. And as we sing this final song, know that the kingdom is within us. And it is our Father's good pleasure to give us the